Salutations, Sonic.EXE community. I am Trouble the Hedgehog, and today's video, under the request from a lot of you, we are going to be discussing about Knuckles.EXE the Emerald's Curse. And be aware that whenever I will be talking about this game in my video, it's going to be my own opinion, so you can't judge me because of it. So let's get down to the business. The first Knuckles.EXE fan game was Knuckles.EXE Devil's Energy, which got first released back in March 28, 2021. This fan game featured Knuckles on Angel Island, where he found Master Emerald to have an entity inside that possesses Knuckles and hunts down both Tails, Sonic, and Eggman. That was originally the first thing until the second Knuckles.EXE dropped under the name of Wrath of Darkness. It got released on June 5th, 2023. 2 years prior took for every Knuckles.EXE releases, and only one was the greatest, being Devil's Energy back in its own prime. One more thing, Emerald Curse Rage Baiters, we'll get to the game in a few minutes. So please be very patient until I speak about the prime of 2021 and 2023. Thank you. The 2021 Devil's Energy was the first greatest Knuckles.EXE fan game that was originally decent on its prime when it had own mechanics, gimmicks, and the only problem this game had was it didn't have solo, but the only thing that it had finished back then was the worst ending with very difficult camera effects, which would result to this fan game to be cancelled and be moved with a very popular fan game that was very, very monstrous on release. When I said monstrous, I meant very insane release back then. And then once Sonic.EXE dropped, everyone was very excited, and after popular YouTubers decided to play this fan game, well, people called it a very scary fan game. And I agree with that. It is indeed a scary game. But back when the first release dropped, it was very bugged out, which it got fixed very quickly about a day or two ago. And this game was the first ever to introduce a 4-wall breaking mechanics. Now about the 4-wall mechanics, it included application change, the application shaking, mouse shaking, etc. So I'll be linking the video by my friend of mine, and you can watch it by yourself. And just to let everyone know, this fan game was indeed a submission of the challenge, but it did won. First ever place for a horror fan game like that to win a first place. Like, honestly, I myself was shocked. How could this fan game win a first place when it clearly had a 4-wall breaking mechanics? And I was very happy because a certain EXE fan game won instead of the other one. If you're from 2022 and still know about this fan game, then make sure you like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So this fan game was basically insane on the release, especially with the one last round and one more round. And of course, what people liked about this fan game was the atmosphere and the Crystal Lake music, which originates from a Genesis fan game. I don't know what's exactly called, but I remember hearing it like multiple times in a row. And so, once the community voting started for EXE Challenge, people they voted for EYX, and somehow, because of the community votings, EYX has won, and everyone was shocked, especially me myself, which resulted this fan game to be responsible for creation of atmosphere and the 4-wall mechanics. No, it's not a blame, it's basically a gratitude. Gratitude that a fan game did, but others didn't. That's basically Sonic at the Double Realm, or EYX, shortly. After that, we had Knuckles.EXE, the Wrath of Darkness, under now of the name of Universal, the Wrath of Darkness. Yes, I'm talking now about Knuckles, the Wrath of Darkness, the 2023 prime. Unfortunately, the treatment wasn't very good. Story was really good, but for the gameplay-wise, it wasn't, because of the difficulty. A lot of people who had struggles with this fan game demanded the immediate nerf because how many levels were very hard to beat, especially making people rage quit as the creator refused to make the game difficult, gameplay-wise was done dirty. But unfortunately for this fan game's prime, even after the update, it hasn't got any treatment, but still more disrespect from the people because of the struggles they used to have because of the difficulty and the gameplay-wise with boss fights and the chase difficulty. And the second problem has to be the dialogues. Yes, not the grammar, but the way how it's colored, because we don't know who is who and what color is what. Like, we don't know who is talking to who, and we need to add like a text box like in the Doomsday Chapter 2, like the 2025 Doomsday Chapter 2, where it had like a name and a character saying something. And yes, before you ask me what about patch updates and bug fixes they posted like few months and years ago, it still doesn't change the fact people made amends for the game to be very much nerfed, with characters, with levels, with chase segments, challenges, difficulty. Like, challenges, we do not care. Difficulty, if it is for the lives, also we don't care. What we care about, level design. That was the entire plot of this game. Just level design, level design, level design, level design, and level design. Nothing else. And people kept complaining like, because the level design sucks. And this game could have been at least better if it was nerfed. Best part is finally coming here, chat. A brand new Knuckles.EXE, The Emerald's Curse. Yes, this fan game was released 2 years later after Breath of Darkness as we speak. Whenever I will be talking about this fan game is going to be very controversial opinion, and I expect everyone to respect whatever I will be talking about this fan game. It's not a trash talk, but it's very expected for you to understand something from it. Let's start with the first release of the Eggman demo. It's true that this fan game swapped places for the characters from the Devil's Energy and Wrath of Darkness. This fan game includes Eggman to be the first one who is going to be hunted down by this evil Knuckles. And unfortunately, this demo looked very promising. And so I was even looking forward to see even more of it. And after the Eggman demo, we got the Sonic demo, which was also promising, but people, even I myself, have noticed very big much difference and very much big similarities from Saga of the Hobgoblin. Yes, I know those videos are used to be reviews, but they're no longer available, and I had to stop myself for reviewing this fan game because I was waiting for the Tales demo and see my opinions, whether they have changed or remain the same. And about third demo for the Tales demo, after it dropped, it somehow became very original, and they put it the beeping dialogue. And people used to have a hard time reading the dialogue's first 2 releases, but in the third demo they included the beeping dialogue, and it gave players to skip the dialogues, even to skip the cutscenes. Creator also included some Easter eggs from 2011 EXE, and there was hinted the endings for duo endings, as the creator wanted to focus on them, and they also included Helnick, who appeared from Mediocre Spirit fan game. I know what you mean, but even with the duo endings announcement, the community server started to be very toxic toward the members itself, resulting both the members and developer act up being aggressive toward the members and those who beg for the solo endings. And to developers who make inspirational games from the Emerald Curse, which I talked like 5 times in a row, and honestly, I'm getting tired to see every fan game be inspired by the same game. And afterwards, this fan game was power created by Sonic.EXE fan remake by Spy08, and I'm very glad about it. Even though the developer is being aggressive toward the developers who are taking inspiration from the Emerald Curse, he does post constantly to report the game page and mass report the game page because the certain fan game is using some formula from the Emerald Curse. And that alone concludes the community being a failure. Developers being aggressive because of people taking inspiration from the Emerald Curse, even re-uploading instead of being very polite to them. He constantly becomes very aggressive, and he forces every person to report the page because they are using some formula from the fan game, and honestly, that's not what I would do if I were him. Let's finally respond to the question of what caused the dual endings to be controversial release. Starting from Tails and Eggman duo. So this game tells that both Eggman and Tails end up in a flying battery, which tells the similar endings from the destiny of Tails and the Eggman. The only difference is instead on the destiny, it was Knuckles that chased Tails, while in the Emerald Curse, it's Sonic that is chasing Tails. But the interesting fact of this chase fact is that each time when you lose the links, Sonic can grab them from you, which that was the same thing that appeared in the failed experiment. The only thing that I can give credit for this ending has to be Tails versus Knuckles during when you have a time limit, when you have to beat Knuckles in the limited time where you have to hurry up because of Eggman launching a self-destructive device, and in order to escape, you have to defeat Knuckles before you don't die. But the catch is, if Tails dies in this boss fight, there will be Eggman who survives, indicating a solo ending. Best part is you can choose only one character on depending the outcome you have selected in order to continue the path you picked, and some cutscenes that originated from one character will be skipped in order to play the other character's cutscene, so you don't have to start over again. Next ending has to be Sonic and Eggman duo. Yes, that has to be a very controversial discussion because Lava Rift level with Sonic and Eggman, every time when you play as Eggman, this game is literally telling you where to go. When you're taking a wrong direction, it is literally spawning you back while you have a certain limit time to hurry up because you don't know what's the time limit, and that makes the problem. I'm not sure if it does have a time limit, but I'll keep it in mind. The best part of this ending has to be Sonic saving Eggman from the collapse on the lava rift, which Knuckles used it to throw a bomb and cause the lava rift to be on the earthquake. And that was the best part for this part, and I have to say it is very creative considering Sonic's high level speed and Eggman being very slow. Sonic used it to save Eggman. In case if Eggman died, Sonic would have got himself killed and the worst ending would have been counted otherwise. When people saw Chaos Fang's appearance in this game, that's where the controversy started to heat considering the Doomsday was worst release, and people claiming to be the worst release, I disagree. Considering this fan game to be looked very promising, it's because the creator tried himself the best, and like I said in the top 20 video, I will defend Doomsday and make it in my position. While the other side, Tails and Sonic's boss fight looks very emotional considering Tails challenges Sonic to duel and Sonic is forced to fight him back, and oppositely, this does look very good. And honestly, after I was fighting Tails, it was very good. And the best part is Sonic doesn't even kill Tails, and he even spares him. Like, I actually like this boss fight compared to Eggman and Chaos Fang's boss fight. This one is creative, if I have to be honest myself. Tails lets Sonic go in his way, while Tails has to observe Knuckles. Like, Knuckles was the one who killed Tails, yes, that's true, but Tails let Sonic go, and that was honestly what a friend would do nowadays. And now, finally, Sonic and Tails duel. Before we continue the discussion, we have to point out that this is heavily inspiration of Dragon Ball Z Namek Saga. Now that we cleared out the misunderstanding, let's finally continue the discussion. As Sonic and Eggman and Tails and Eggman duos, this one is very creative compared to what we had last two endings, as this one is very emotional and very, very good. Like I said, this is a inspiration of Namek Saga from Dragon Ball Z, because Dragon Ball came first before Sonic, and you can't shut off your opinion because of that. Each time when you have to fight a character, you have to choose with who you want to play as before you choose the option, because in each boss fight or outcome, you have to select a character, and my personal pick for the ending has to be Sonic, because he demanded a rematch early on. And some routes will have sense if you choose the first character, but sometimes you have to understand that choosing a different character will trigger a different cutscene, which it skips the first important cutscene, resulting to play from the start. So, exactly as I mentioned, Dark Sonic was lastly introduced in Sonic 2 Friendship, and honestly, introducing Dark Sonic from Sonic.EXE, if I guess correctly, this was honestly the creative ending so far. He had to use his form in order to save his best friend and then dies like a real hero. Honestly, this ending has to be very creative. No excuses, Judd. No excuses. This ending is very creative. Namek Saga heavy inspiration, you can't excuse that fact. And that should be everything I had to talk about Knuckles.EXE The Emerald Curse. Yes, we went through the other two fan games. We had the EXE prequel before entering the new career, and we had to mention the problem we and other members have faced it. Even it means the Discord server, even it means the game page. Like, this fan game needs to fix when it comes to the community, while the fan game's performances is looking good. Developers have to behave themselves and honestly do better. Like, criticizing someone over a fan game, leaving geeks reviews completely dry is completely unacceptable. So, like I said, that is going to be the end of this video, and if you enjoyed this video so far, make sure you subscribe and like this video and spread the word. Leaving Emerald Curse, be aware, like, members need to be aware when associating with this game. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you around!